here we go. No water gauge glass, so it's got a boiler level valve. Which I've never used before, so I've opened it to see what that's a bit more. That's 100cc gone in. That's about what poly takes. This one looks like it can take a bit more. I'm going to fill it right to the top and see if it starts trickling out without pressure in the boiler. Not yet. Okay. Right, that's completely topped up and it's not coming out that valve. So now we're just below the manifold turret, call it what you will. And all I need to do now is find my good old valve. There we go. What I'm going to do now is pressurise the boiler slightly using the water filler after I've done the oil. there's no stale old oil in there. This little 3mm syringe escapes all the while. Nothing in the lubricator. Excellent. So now I know that's empty. See how many squirts it takes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a bit. Okay, so pretty much the same as Polly. I oil round her motion and other fittings earlier while she was upside down. Okay. This is a better fit than Polly's, probably because it's had less use, so I'm less worried about dropping this one on the deck. Okay, so there we are, gassed up, oiled up, boiler full. Got to get this off now. There. A very much better fit than Polly's. Okay, right. Regulator shut. Controller on. Radio controller on. Mid gear. Good. Twitch it a little bit, which I don't like. No, I need to extend the aerial on this. I will be getting this radio control system changed to something different, probably Fussworks. Okay, moment of truth time. Let's see how she does. Plan is to have a full run here. I'll get the pressure up with the good old. I said that already, didn't I? See if anything trickles out down here when I put a bit of pressure in. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for the boiler pressure to come up then. Okay, gas valve open, healthy sound. A quick look in there. Yep. So, I'm not going to sit down because it's rained a lot. No, I'm doing this not in the workshop because it's gas and I don't want to blow myself or my family up. Right. It's 26 minutes to 11. Let's see how long it takes her to get pressure up. Put that, make sure that's properly in mid-gear. I think it is. Yeah, it's a bit of an optical illusion that it's not. The regulator is definitely shut. Excuse me while I get a cushion and a mug of tea. So I'm back with my brew. Fire's still in. Pressure gauge is up to nothing at the moment. There's no water coming out here yet, which is slightly concerning. So I need to know how many turns to give that without. Okay, I'll try a different attack on that one then. It smells really right. I'm sorry you can't get the sense of that smell on here. So there we are. I'm not going to tighten it so hard that I can't undo it while it's hot. Heat in the right places. Gas down just a little notch. What I'm planning to do when she's up and running, obviously she won't go on the railway just yet because I need to make sure that I can control her, more specifically make sure I can stop her when it's the right moment to do so, with the FeckHallBahn being end to end rather than a loop. A runaway loco is something you really don't want, and I think you can just see in the background. I'll move the camera slightly, I'll show it you, move it all around. So here in the background there is the infamous, I hate smartphones in the sun, the infamous Vogelscheiss incline, which is 1 in 8. Now Polly will just go careering down that, being heavy, and unlike the electric locos doesn't stop the instant you shut off power. So I'm going to assume the same thing with this little Caradoc here. The controller is a Futaba and it's 40 megahertz, which means it's prone to interference, which you've already seen before I extended the aerial. That's going to get changed to a system where not only can I control the direction but also the regulator. Currently the regulator is manual and the reverser is on the radio control. So here we are. Oh, while she's getting some bit of steam up, let's have a quick look around the railway. So this here is a garden chair being dragged out of the way. That's Tiefshorn goods yard. Tiefshorn station is made of, very finely made of wood, and doesn't live outside. It comes out when I'm running. So that's the foot of Vogelscheiss incline, is Tiefshorn. Directly above it is the engine shed, running shed for Horn and Trumpet Bahnhof, which is the other side of these, that pretend castle there, which is actually just keeping the rain off, water off my switchgear for my points. And there, here we have Horn and Trumpet Bahnhof itself. People say, why FeckHallBahn? Why Horn and Trumpet, Tiefshorn, etc.? Well, I'm a horn player, and the pub we built in lockdown before we had the railway, a patio, is called the Horn and Trumpet. So as the railway was given to me, and at the time it was given to me, it was extensively German, exclusively German. It had to be a Bahn, and the stations had to be Bahnhofs. As a consequence of the stations being Bahnhofs, most of the names are German too. The FeckHall bit actually comes from the name of our house. We're very Great Father Ted fans, which, if you've watched my videos before, you know I have a Frau Doyle, a Jack Hackett, a Dougal, a Small and a Faraway. Here we have the siding at the top of the north end of Horn and Trumpet station, Horn and Trumpet Bahnhof, and just here is a recently grounded guards van that's been turned into a chicken coop, and the chickens are outside because it's daytime. Here we have the Anborg Cafe. Why Anborg? Well, as I said, I'm a horn player, and there's a couple of bits knocking around on these tables here that come from an absolutely wrecked Anborg student horn. I love hedgehogs. There's 2 more somewhere under that lot, which I shall have to garden back later. The railway is controlled on a system similar to Ravenglass and Eskdale, where drivers and the backstory radio in to say they're approaching various places and get permission to proceed. So the signals are non-operational. They're always set at clear because we had complaints from passengers about trains passing signals at danger, and regular viewers also. This brings us up to Rassenmeer Überfahrt Haltpunkt, which has grown slightly over the years. Rassenmeer is a lawnmower, Überfahrt is crossing place, and Haltpunkt sort of speaks for itself. But it doesn't actually, I don't actually take the Rassenmeer across here anymore because I've put too many buildings in the way and plants, so it goes across there now. Here are some Roman remains, a mosaic discovered when we were excavating for the branch line. More about that in a bit. Initially this set of points wasn't here, so in 2020 when I built it we just went straight on. Railway terminated here, which is a little bit inconvenient for the garage door, so I added some curves and put passing loops in. This signal every night resets itself to danger, and I really don't know why. Hedgehogs do blunder around a bit, and then we come round the corner. This is Kirschbaum im Wald, it means cherry tree in the forest, and this is the cherry tree. So here it is, Kirschbaum im Wald International Rail Freight Terminal. Siding here for the goods, and then behind here is the engineers department, the engineers siding. Over there is the now disused mine, and this here is Dunelm Castle, a ruin made from a Dunelm slate effect planter. There used to be a bridge here for a narrow gauge railway, or narrower gauge railway, 2-foot gauge in fiction, but it kept getting battered, so I moved it, and now the narrow gauge line disappears off the end of this siding here and behind these walls. Can't actually see it anymore. And this then here is Kirschbaum im Wald Bahnhof. It's when the FeckHallBahn terminates. It has limited passenger facilities, and it has a run round loop, and all the points here are sprung and set so that the train can automatically run round without me having to change anything or uncouple anything. And here we have some of David Clavy's wonderful, more of David Clavy's wonderful figures, the sheep, the shepherd and the dog. 2 of the sheep have been knocked over by something. I shall find out what that is yet later. And the station building here is a grounded North Pilton Guards van that I built, bought, made a bit of a mess of, and it was too wide for the railway anyway. So the chassis is now my camera car, and this here is the station shelter, which never was there before. This guy prefers to sit out in all weathers. It's also going to be our mega apple harvest this year. Will be taken back to the house by train. Now I want to find out what knocked those 2 sheep down, as happens most days. So I've set up the trail camera here, which also looking straight across at it to see whether it's a hedgehog or something I really don't want in my garden. It's either a hedgehog, a rat or a cat that visits occasionally. My 2 don't come out much. They're not to be trusted outdoors. So that is the southern or south eastern terminus of the railway. I'm going to go back up the line now, and here we see the branch line coming off. Now I realised, had I known what I know now, I should have put in, or could have put in, a passing loop in an intermediate place. So initially I built a siding that you could back a train into that was heading from Kirschbaum im Wald to horn and trumpet. And then I just thought, do you know what, I've got enough bits of spare track. We've got under den FeckHallBahn there. This is the top of the infamous Vogelschei syncline. The reason for its name is not as obvious today as it usually is. It's 1 in 8, so totally unprototypical. But there is a station on it, FeckHallBahn, which is staffed, but only stops for passengers getting off in the downwards direction. We're not going to start trains going up there. And what I can hear now, back at the table, we can see that the loco is up to pressure, which is absolutely fantastic. Probably a bit too much water in the boiler, since that's what's coming out of the safety valve. Just put the camera down and see how she goes. Is she visible? Not particularly, so I'll move it back a little. There we go. Right. She's in mid-gear. So we'll turn the gas down as much as possible. I might get like Derby if it's a primary control ring to that gas burner. So first thing I want to do is find out what this water level indicator thing does and how well it works. That's excellent. One turn and out comes some water. Tells you there's some in the boiler. Yes, good. It's like a blow down valve. I might even get a lever fitted to that if I can. Hasn't nobbled the pressure. Give her a quick wipe down. I'm not going to put the safety valve bonnet on yet because I keep it as clean for as long as possible. And here comes the moment of truth. It's in mid-gear, so it shouldn't move when I open the regulator. Nothing's happening, which is excellent. See what happens when we start moving the reverser. Clearing the compensator with a lot of that. Reverse. She's starting to go bit uneven yet. That's better. Let your regulator some more. Mid-gear, we should stop. I'm thinking about going forward. Might be a timing issue. Wrap the regulator wide open, hit that on manual mode. That might help. Just run it backwards a bit. Still clearing condensate at a rate of knots. Let's try turning the regulator off a minute. Oh, right, we're going to try the opposite now. Just think full forward, regulator opening. Turn that gas down. There's a lot of water coming out there. So just gonna check that level again, see what comes out here. Probably shouldn't be doing this with my bare hands, but right, there's no water coming out now. So what I'm going to do, it's just steam coming out there, so what I'm going to do is top up with water and see 3 squirts and it's steam coming out again. Water rather. Not quite, a bit more. I think if it's feasible I'll get a water gauge fitted to this. Yeah, so just got a bit of water come off. And now it goes from there and from the condensate in the exhaust. The gas is noisy. It's one feature of the craft range that is slightly problematic. Right, regulator wide open, into reverse, nothing happens. Excellent, coming forwards nicely now. That means I don't have to do any messing around with the timing, I hope. Now she's not running backwards so well. Okay, she's had a few minutes of steam and running, so I'm going to gas off, regulator off. That might have been far too far open. What I'm going to do now is top up the gas. Butane only for AccuCraft. Specifically says so on the gas tank, which is a lot smaller than Polly's. I suspect it's designed so that the gas will run out before a full boiler. I've just topped the boiler up, so I don't need to do that, but I would like to look at the oil level, see what we've got here. I think the Loco's got a really nice Welsh Pool and Slam Fire vibe about it. It's in the right colour, Great Western Brunswick green. Right, I don't use the blow down valve for oil changes, or oil top up should I say. I'll put out the condensate with a syringe. I'm assuming of course I've got the syringe plunger in rather than out. And that's used. That's probably all right to leave for another run, but I won't. I shall top her up. Drained off oil gets dumped on the engine shed road. Looks more fun, more scenic. There we are, 5 pumps to get that back in, up to level, probably too much, it'll go all over the foot plate now. And once that's done up, and I've got the tool off, I shall relight. Some people relight through the chimney. I prefer to do it the recommended way, which is Open the smoke box door, make sure the light is working, which it is. Light that. Okay. Let's see how we get on. I'm going to just glue up this lot. I'm going to take a few syringes full of that size anyway, so I don't want steam oil in the boiler. And I can measure it. Having been a nurse in a past life, I quite like doing things in syringes. That is a lot of gook. My water, boiler water, is filtered rainwater. Good for the boiler. There's no lime scale in it. And plenty of rain in this part of very western Saxony. Right, I'm just going to leave that there for the minute. Pressure's already easing back up to what should be runnable, so I'll stick her in forward gear. Open the regulator. I suspect we're going to have to do a bit of condensate clearing again here now. Pull forward beautifully now, but not so much the reverse. So we'll shut the regulator, let that pressure come back up. I'll just give her an oil round, which I use steam oil. She's sounding a bit tight to me. Unlike Polly, I can't quite get at the inside motion so easily on this one. So that will get done next time she's cold and upside down. So that's 460 grade steam oil, which I use for the inline lubrication as well as the so regulator opens, forward gear, little more regulator, little less regulator, little more. There's a lot of condensate still coming out. So it's all very nicely. She's also backwards very nicely. Okay. Backwards nicely, forwards nicely. I'm using the channel reverse rather than the lever here. So, very and now we've got that cleared, it's responding nicely to the actual transmitter. So, there we have it. Now what I'm going to do now, cover into regulator is nicely at perfect position at the moment. So with the grub screw for that at the 12 o'clock position, that gives me good control going up. And most importantly, I can stop it. Lovely. I think it's probably time to put her on the rails. Turn that gas down just a touch. So with the white nut at 11 o'clock, hopefully the gas will stay lit. Wait for part 2, upcoming. Thank you.